Hey you guys, I have another game parable for you today, but first we're going to read 1 Corinthians 12, 18, and 19. It says, "Our bodies have many parts, and God has put each part just where He wants it. How strange a body would be if it only had one part." So we're going to talk about that verse today, but from the perspective of Brawl Stars. So if you've never heard of this game, it's an app game that you play on your phone. It's made by the same people who did Clash Royale and Clash of Clans and that kind of thing, but it's not really like those games exactly. But Brawl Stars is a very fun game. It has many modes that encourage teamwork. Like, there's only one mode I can think of, Showdown on solo, that you can play actually by yourself, trying to win just for you, but everything else encourages you and puts you in a team to work with other people. And if you've ever played this game for any amount of time, you understand that experience can be kind of frustrating, because you're put on random teams most of the time. You can group up with your friends, but most of the time you're with random people. And you've probably thought these thoughts before, like, oh no, my team chose that brawler, we're gonna lose, or I'm never gonna choose this brawler again, they're absolutely terrible. I know I've been there. I know I've guided my team and thought we're gonna definitely lose, and sometimes they surprise me. Sometimes they do exactly what I thought they were gonna do and make us lose. But just when I've stopped believing in a particular fighter, that's when someone on the other team chooses them and they just absolutely decimate me. And what I've found is Brawl Stars is actually pretty balanced, and every brawler has their own merits. Every brawler in this game, you have a roster to choose from of these different players you can pick that have different special abilities. Each one kind of has their own strengths and weaknesses. But it's the same way in life. Sometimes life is hard because we think everyone should be just like us. Everyone should have the exact same skills as we do. But the truth is that God's gifted people different ways. And when we pull our different strengths together, we actually can accomplish a whole lot more. And in fact, a huge life lesson that I've learned over the years personally is that I should focus more on my strength rather than my weakness. Sometimes we think that if we aren't good at something, we're all around terrible, but that's not true at all. And in fact, look what God says. 1 Corinthians 12, verse 14 says, "The body has many different parts, not just one part. If the foot says, 'I am not part of the body because I'm not a hand,' that does not make it any less part of the body." So that's a weird way of saying that, but basically, just because your strength isn't someone else's, just because their strength isn't your strength, doesn't mean that you're any less valuable to the whole of the team. I think what the Bible's talking about here is the church and the different gifts that God gives people. But it works the same way in the video games. It works the same way in life. If you're in a group project at school, whatever it is, if you're in a team, I would encourage you to not doubt your value, not doubt other people's value. God has gifted people different ways. God has given people strengths that they need to learn what they are and use to be the most effective team they can be. And everyone is valuable to God. So next time you're on a team, consider others' strengths rather than their weaknesses. And if you don't know what your strengths are, maybe you should ask godly leaders in your life what they see your skills are. Or maybe pray about it too. Ask God what your strength is, so that you can work on that and become even stronger in the area that God's gifted you in. So that was just a random thought that I had of playing this game. It's very unique in the way that it has you choose different brawlers that have different abilities, and unique in the fact that it really encourages teamwork, and that can be really frustrating when people don't understand what their strengths are and then they're not playing to their strengths. So what Bible stories does this game remind you of in areas? Or maybe you have another game that you would love me to cover in this way with a game parable. Definitely comment those down below. My name is Chris Michaels. This has been Game Parables, the show that helps you win at the game and win at life. I'll see you in the next video.